She was quite known for her feisty personality, feeling that we got when they came out with the baby. We couldn't miss it again. We couldn't miss this one. Princess Charlotte might just be stepping into the spotlight sooner than anyone expected. We all know King Charles adores his grandchildren, but what he did at the recent French State Banquet took things to another level. In a move no one saw coming, he gave Charlotte a rare and surprising new title right there in front of everyone. Even Prince William and Princess Catherine looked stunned. So now everyone's asking, what's the new title? Why now? And what does this mean for Charlotte's future in the royal family? Let's get into it. A new royal title for Princess Charlotte. When it was announced at the French State Banquet that Princess Charlotte would be receiving a brand new title, the entire room was left in stunned silence. And right in the middle of it all, Charlotte's face said it all. Shock, joy, and maybe a little bit of, is this really happening? It was a huge moment for the young royal, one that clearly caught even her by surprise. But while Charlotte's excitement lit up the room, it was King Charles's decision that really had everyone talking. Because here's the twist. This wasn't supposed to happen. At least not yet. Traditionally, there are protocols and steps that need to be followed before a title like this is handed out. But Charles didn't wait. He went ahead and skipped those steps altogether. And now the question on everyone's lips is, why was this a clear case of royal favoritism? Or was it all part of something bigger? A bold, forward-thinking plan from the king himself? Keep watching to find out. Since the day she was born on May 2nd, 2015, Princess Charlotte has carried a special kind of royal weight. As the second child of Prince William and Princess Kate, she was always expected to play a significant role within the monarchy. And thanks to Queen Elizabeth II, that role was protected even before she took her first steps. In 2013, the Queen signed an amendment to the Succession to the Crown Act, ending the old tradition of male primogeniture. That outdated system allowed younger brothers to leapfrog over older sisters in the line of succession. Because of this, Charlotte's place in the royal pecking order remained intact when Prince Louis was born. She made history just by being born when she was. And that's not all. Before Charlotte even arrived, Queen Elizabeth II also made another historic change, one that quietly ensured Charlotte would have the title princess. Under old rules set by King George V in 1917, only the eldest son of the Prince of Wales would automatically become a prince. Without the Queen's intervention, Charlotte and Louis wouldn't have been styled as royals at all. But thanks to that rule change, Charlotte was born into her full title, Her Royal Highness, Princess Charlotte of Wales. That Her Royal Highness styling isn't just ceremonial. It's tied to bloodline. Charlotte is a princess of the blood, meaning she was born royal, not married into it. That distinction matters. It's why her mother Kate, though often called Princess Kate by the media and public, doesn't technically hold that title. Like Princess Diana before her, Kate is a royal by marriage, not by birth. Charlotte's full name reflects her father's current title, Princess Charlotte of Wales, since Prince William became Prince of Wales in 2022 after Queen Elizabeth's death. Before that, Charlotte went by Princess Charlotte of Cambridge. And for a brief moment after William became Duke of Cornwall, she was known as Princess Charlotte of Cornwall and Cambridge. As her father's titles change, so do hers. And that might not be the last shift we see. If tradition continues, Charlotte could receive a brand new title again once she reaches adulthood, especially if she marries. In royal tradition, male children and grandchildren of the monarch are typically granted a peerage on marriage. And in Charlotte's case, the speculation has already begun. Royal expert Robert Jobson revealed in his 2023 biography, Our King, Charles III, the Man and the Monarch, that King Charles has long had plans for his granddaughter to possibly become the Duchess of Edinburgh one day. That title, currently held by Charles' younger brother, Prince Edward, is for life only. Once it reverts back to the crown, it could be handed down to Charlotte if Charles or later on William chooses to pass it on. And if that doesn't happen, there's still another royal gem waiting in the wings, the title of Princess Royal. Only one woman can hold that title at a time. And right now, it belongs to Princess Anne. But when that day eventually comes and the title becomes available again, Prince William, if his king, could give it to Charlotte. It would be the ultimate nod to her status as the eldest daughter of the monarch. So yes, What happened at the State Bank? It might have looked like a spontaneous gesture, but make no mistake, this moment could be the beginning of something far bigger. Whether it's a fast-track title, a future duchy, or the coveted Princess Royal, one thing's for sure, Princess Charlotte's future is being written right in front of our eyes. And it's unfolding faster than anyone imagined. But maybe the real story here isn't just about titles or royal protocols. Maybe it's about something far more personal. The bond between a grandfather and his granddaughter. Because if there's one thing that's becoming clearer with each public appearance, it's this. Charlotte's rising status might have just as much to do with her relationship with King Charles as it does with her place in the royal bloodline. King Charles's relationship with his granddaughter. Princess Charlotte may only be 10 years old, but the bond she shares with her grandfather, King Charles, is already turning heads inside the royal circle and beyond. Royal insiders say this isn't just your typical grandparent-grandchild relationship. It's something different, something warmer, something that feels more like an unspoken friendship. And according to those closest to the royals, it's only grown stronger over the past few years. The king, now 76, has been spending more and more time at Windsor Castle. That's just a stone's throw from Adelaide Cottage, where William, Kate, and the kids live. That close proximity has given Charles the perfect opportunity to really connect with Charlotte, and it's clear he's taken it. Those around them say Charlotte reminds the king of himself, full of energy, fiercely determined, and unafraid to speak her mind. Children's clothing designer Amaya Arrieta, who has dressed Charlotte since she was a baby and has met her several times, described her as a caring and determined little girl, sweet, but with her own opinions. And if you ask Princess Kate, Charlotte already rules the roost at home with her two brothers. That sounds a lot like the kind of strong-willed leadership Charles himself is known for. But there might be another reason why the king has such a soft spot for his granddaughter. According to royal biographer Ingrid Seward, Charles once dreamed of having a daughter of his own. That dream never came true. But with Charlotte, it's almost as if fate gave him a second chance. Seward revealed that Charles likely has a very nice relationship with his granddaughter, and many believe it's because she fills a space in his heart that never quite closed. In fact, last year, Charles was seen wearing a colorful woven friendship bracelet. People quietly speculated that it might have been a handmade gift from Charlotte herself. She reportedly spent her summer break crafting those exact kinds of bracelets. A small gesture maybe, but one that speaks volumes about their relationship. And if you go back in time, there's even more to this story. In Diana, her true story, the late Princess Diana revealed that Charles had always wanted a baby girl. When she learned Prince Harry was a boy, she admitted Charles always wanted a girl. He wanted 2 children, and he wanted a girl. That longing, it seems, never fully faded. Now, as Charlotte grows into her own spotlight, she's proving herself to be every bit the poised and capable royal. A palace insider told People magazine that she's a natural when it comes to royal events, completely at ease and always ready to step up. But that doesn't mean it'll be smooth sailing. Being the middle child and more importantly the spare two, the heir comes with challenges that the royal family knows all too well. Royal historian Robert Hardman pointed out that Queen Elizabeth herself understood the pressure of being second in line. That's why she had a soft spot for Princess Margaret, Prince Andrew, and even Prince Harry. Being second place in a strictly hierarchical family isn't easy. Hardman said, everyone is conscious of that. And it's true, the role of spare has never been simple. Prince Harry's journey is proof enough of the emotional weight it carries. So for William and Kate, guiding Charlotte through that complexity is one of their biggest responsibilities. William reportedly sees it as part of his job, not just preparing to be king, but making royal life feel less intimidating for his kids. The Wales are already raising their children with that balance in mind. They are protecting their privacy while slowly introducing them to royal duty. Charlotte won't just be a princess for the cameras. One day, she'll be a full-time working royal with all the expectations that come with it. But the good news, she won't be doing it alone. With a supportive family around her and a grandfather who not only loves her but genuinely understands her, Princess Charlotte is stepping into her royal future with all the right people in her corner. And that strong foundation is already showing not just in how she carries herself during official events, but in the way she connects with people even at such a young age. How Princess Charlotte always manages to charm the public. Princess Charlotte has always had that undeniable spark, her own kind of star power that sets her apart. Thanks to her famous family and royal lineage, she's naturally in the front line. But it's not just her name that fascinates people. It's her presence. There's a certain magic shared by the women in the royal family, and Charlotte's already showing signs that she's inherited it in full. While her brothers, Prince George and Prince Louis, have their own charm, it's Charlotte who manages to steal the moment with ease. And just like her mother, Princess Catherine, she's quietly becoming the royal family's secret weapon. From the moment she made her first appearance outside of St. Mary's Hospital on May 2nd, 2015, cradled in her mother's arms, Charlotte has been melting hearts, and she hasn't stopped since. But along with that sweetness comes a bit of spice. Charlotte has a cheeky, confident streak that shines through more and more as she grows up. And it's that mix of charm and sass that's made so many people compare her to her great-aunt, Princess Anne. Both women have shown a unique ability to juggle being engaging and expressive with a strong sense of duty. It's rare, and Charlotte seems to have inherited it naturally. This balance of politeness and precociousness is most obvious when Charlotte meets the public. Though she's been in the spotlight her whole life, it wasn't until more recently that we really got to see her personality on display during public appearances. And she's handled each moment like a seasoned pro. Her first time meeting members of the public came at just 4 years old on Christmas Day in 2019. Charlotte joined her family for the traditional service at St. Mary Magdalene Church in Norfolk. After the service, she walked with Prince George and her parents, greeting the public along the way. Prince Louis, who was just a toddler then, stayed home with their nanny, leaving Charlotte to step into the spotlight with her older brother. For the big day, Charlotte wore a deep forest green coat by Maya, paired with black tights and classic black Mary Jane shoes. Prince George, who was 6 at the time, held onto Prince William's hand as they made their way through the crowd. Charlotte stayed close to Princess Catherine, and together they delighted the crowd. One woman gave Charlotte an inflatable pink flamingo, which the young princess accepted graciously and hugged the giver in thanks. Another fan, who gifted her a doll, told Sky News via People that Charlotte came across as confident and very grown-up. The woman recalled, "Her manners are outstanding, but she's cheeky. She wasn't at all scared." For a first-timer greeting the public, Charlotte was a total hit. By June 2022, Charlotte had grown even more into her role. At age 7, she accompanied Prince George and her parents to Cardiff and Wales for Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. The visit was a significant one. Not only did it mark a major royal milestone, but it was also Charlotte's very first trip to Wales. And the public couldn't have been more thrilled to meet her. At Cardiff Castle, Charlotte and George got to experience the excitement of the celebration firsthand. They mingled with the crowd, took part in the festivities, and even joined in a little fun. One moment in particular stood out. Charlotte was handed a conductor's baton by musician John Quirk and led the orchestra in a rendition of the Encanto hit We Don't Talk About Bruno. She was shy at first, but quickly relaxed, laughing with George as she gave it a go. Princess Catherine later shared that both kids were musically inclined. George had picked up the electric guitar and Charlotte was learning piano, so leading the orchestra was right up Charlotte's alley. Once again, she was charming, confident, and completely at ease. A few months later, in August 2022, Princess Charlotte made another memorable appearance, this time at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. She attended a swimming competition at the Sandwell Aquatic Centre with Prince William and Princess Catherine, while George and Louis stayed home. The outing gave Charlotte a rare moment of one-on-one time with her parents, and she clearly enjoyed every bit of it. Cameras caught her expressive reactions, cheering and clapping as she followed the races with excitement. Charlotte looked adorable and grown-up all at once in a black and white Rachel Riley dress with a Peter Pan collar, white sandals, and her hair neatly styled in pigtail braids. After the swim event, she visited Sports Aid House, a patronage of Princess Catherine's, where she met athletes and staff, shook hands with everyone she met, and impressed everyone with her poise. She made eye contact, introduced herself confidently and handled the experience with maturity well beyond her years. Later that day, Charlotte joined her parents for more events, including a gymnastics competition, something that clearly thrilled her. According to Catherine, Charlotte spends most of her time at home flipping around and doing handstands. Catherine joked to the Daily Mail, "Charlotte spends most of her time upside down doing handstands and cartwheels." Unsurprisingly, she was completely in her element. By the end of 2022, Charlotte was becoming a familiar, beloved presence at royal events. Christmas 2022 marked the family's first holiday season without Queen Elizabeth II. The new King Charles III had just ascended the throne, but traditions continued. As usual, the Wales family attended Christmas service at St. Mary Magdalene Church, this time with all three children, including little Louis, who made his Christmas walk debut. With Louis being the youngest, Princess Catherine held his hand, leaving George and Charlotte to greet well-wishers more independently. And Charlotte didn't disappoint. She chatted sweetly with fans and graciously accepted flowers from members of the crowd. Her outfit, a cranberry red coat she had also worn to royal carols together at Christmas 2 weeks earlier, was festive and familiar. But it was her warm, mature presence that left the biggest impression. In 2023, Charlotte continued to shine. In the days following King Charles' coronation, the royal family took part in a series of events to mark the occasion, including the Big Help Out, a nationwide initiative to encourage volunteering. Prince William and Princess Catherine brought all three children to a Scouts event in Slough. It was a more casual, relaxed day, and Charlotte seemed to love every second of it. She painted, played games, and even tried her hand at archery. Afterward, she joined her brothers around a campfire to roast marshmallows and make s'mores with other children and volunteers. It was a rare moment of royal downtime, and Charlotte looked just like any other 8-year-old girl, laughing, playing, and soaking up the joy of being outdoors. She wore denim shorts, a pink Ralph Lauren sweater, and a Scout scarf tied around her neck. The whole event gave people a refreshing look at the royal family in a more relatable light. And once again, Charlotte was front and center. By Christmas 2023, the Wales children were pros at the annual church walk, and Charlotte's growing confidence was on full display. The family coordinated in elegant winter tones, with Charlotte donning an olive green coat, black tights, and her trusty black Mary Janes. Her hair was styled in 2 delicate half braids pulled back with a middle part, polished and age-appropriate. Charlotte walked alongside her cousin Mia Tyndall, daughter of Zara and Mike Tyndall, greeting members of the public with a smile. In one especially sweet moment captured on TikTok, a fan offered Charlotte another bouquet of flowers. But instead of taking it for herself, she turned and gestured for Mia to accept them. Mia looked thrilled, and the video quickly went viral.